Let's go Lions! Everyone is excited about the upcoming clash. What about you? Our Lions have been doing very well, despite some setbacks along the way, many injuries, but let's face it, this is normal in football. So lift your head, get your jersey ready, and roar loudly, "Go Lions!" Let's go to the latest news about our team before the clash. And don't forget, of course, to hit the like button. A true fan won't make the mistake of forgetting. Now, let's talk about a story that has courage, resilience, and hope written all over it. Emanuel Mosley's journey back to the field and what this could mean for our defense. Now, let's be realistic. Injuries have been the unwelcome guests at the Lions table all season. But one story that stands out is that of Emanuel Mosley. In the past 3 years, this guy has battled 2 ACL tears, one in each knee, and, for good measure, a torn pectoral muscle earlier this year during training camp. Talk about bad luck, right? But Mosley is no ordinary player. He's someone who has kept his head up and worked tirelessly to get back on the field. Upon his return in Week 5, where he played 15 snaps on special teams, things looked promising. But since then, Mosley has been a scratch on game day, leaving fans wondering, is he ready? Will he play again this season? Well, according to Mosley himself, the answer appears to be yes. In an interview with MLive, Mosley said he feels good, he feels ready, and he's just waiting for his moment. And you know what? That moment might be now. With Carlton Davis III out indefinitely with a fractured jaw and Khalil Dorsey sidelined with a season-ending ankle injury, the Lions secondary is, shall we say, weak. This could be Mosley's chance to step in and remind everyone why the Lions believed in him enough to offer him a 1-year deal even after his torn ACL last season. But let's stop here for a second, Lions fans. Mosley isn't just grateful, he's excited. He's openly shared how much it means to him that the organization has stuck by him. As he said, most teams would have cut ties after those injuries. But the Lions didn't. And now, he's ready to repay that trust on the field. And let's not ignore what Mosley brings to the table. When healthy, he's a physical cornerback with solid coverage skills and veteran experience, exactly what we need right now as the playoffs approach. Head coach Dan Campbell even said this was Mosley's best week since returning from injury. That's a good sign, Lions fans. A very good sign. But that's not all. The injury list isn't just affecting the secondary. Offensive lineman Graham Glasgow is questionable for Sunday's matchup against the Bears. If he's out, we could see Kayode Wasaka or Christian Mahogany step in. Both have shown flashes of reliability, but there's no hiding it. The Lions will need every ounce of their next man-up mentality to hold things together. On the bright side, there's hope on the horizon in the form of David Montgomery. After suffering a sprained MCL, the fear was that he would miss the rest of the season, including the playoffs. But according to head coach Campbell, there's optimism surrounding Montgomery's recovery. Can you imagine having him back for the postseason? Pairing him with Jahmyr Gibbs again could give our offense the firepower it needs to dominate any defense. But here's the thing, Lions fans, it's time for the truth. The final stretch of the season isn't just about talent, it's about heart, grit, and the will to overcome all obstacles. Whether it's Mosley making his long-awaited return, our secondary excelling, or Montgomery fighting his way back onto the field, this team isn't going to back down. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Mosley can step in and make a difference? Are you confident in our secondary holding strong in these final games? And how excited are you about the possibility of Montgomery returning for the playoffs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The NFC North is heating up and it's as tight as it gets. After a tough loss to the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings picking up a win over the Bears, we're now tied atop the division with just 3 games remaining. But here's the thing. The Lions still hold the head-to-head tiebreaker against Minnesota. And what about that Week 18 matchup? Oh, it's shaping up to be a blockbuster with potential playoff implications and maybe even the number 1 seed in the NFC on the line. But let's not get ahead of ourselves because first, we've got a battle with the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. And if there's one thing the Lions need to focus on, it's starting fast. Last week against the Bills, Detroit dug themselves into an early 14-0 hole. While they managed to fight back and turn it into a shootout, those early mistakes proved costly. If they want to avoid a similar scenario against Chicago, the offense needs to hit the ground running and put points on the board early. Now, let's talk about the players who are going to have the biggest impact on this game. All eyes are on Zadarius Smith. With our secondary taking some heavy hits due to injuries, Carlton Davis is out indefinitely with a fractured jaw, and Khalil Dorsey's season is over with an ankle injury. The pass rush becomes even more critical. Smith needs to bring the heat and disrupt Caleb Williams in the pocket. If our defensive front can replicate their performance from the last time we faced Chicago, it could ease the pressure on our young and battered secondary. And speaking of injuries, let's address the other big concern, Graham Glasgow. The veteran offensive lineman is listed as questionable for Sunday's game. If he can't go, expect to see Kayode Wasaka or Christian Mahogany step in. Both players have shown flashes of reliability, but it's safe to say we'll need every ounce of grit and determination from our O-line to keep Jared Goff upright and the offense firing on all cylinders. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom on the injury front. There's some positive news about David Montgomery. After suffering an MCL sprain, the initial fear was that he might miss the rest of the season, including the playoffs. But according to Coach Dan Campbell, there's genuine optimism surrounding Montgomery's recovery. Can you imagine having him back alongside Jahmyr Gibbs in the postseason? That 1-2 punch could be the key to unlocking our offensive potential when it matters most. Now, let's not forget about Jared Goff. The Bears' key to victory is no secret. They need to put relentless pressure on Goff, especially in cold weather conditions. Historically, Goff hasn't been great when the temperature drops into the 30s. His passer rating in those conditions is nearly 20 points lower than his career average. That means the Lions' offensive line needs to be on point, and Goff needs to stay composed and make smart decisions under pressure. On the flip side, the Lions' defense needs to prepare for DeAndre Swift. Last week, Swift showcased his ability to run hard and fight for extra yards, especially in the second half. With the Lions' defense banged up, expect the Bears to lean heavily on Swift early to establish their ground game and buy time for Caleb Williams to find his rhythm in the passing attack. But here's the deal, Lions fans, this team has grit. They have heart. And despite the injuries and the setbacks, they've shown time and time again that they're ready to fight until the final whistle. This week's 16 matchup isn't just another game, it's a statement opportunity. A chance to show the entire NFC that the Detroit Lions are here to stay. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Zadarius Smith can step up and make life miserable for Caleb Williams? Are you confident that Jared Goff and the offense can start fast and set the tone early? And how excited are you about the possibility of David Montgomery returning for the postseason? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this is your team, your voice, and your channel. And hey, if you enjoyed today's breakdown, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. The road to the playoffs is heating up, Lions fans, and it's going to be one wild ride. I'll see you in the next video. Go Lions!